But for those of y'all new here, my name is Matthew Galloway. I'm the lead pastor here. I know a lot of 12 years old. I'm still working on growing the beard and looking a little bit older and all that stuff. But we just like to welcome you out here. Know that if you're here this morning, your family, and we want to treat you like family. So just anything you need, anything we can do, just ask somebody that looks like they know what they're doing. And usually they'll point you in the right direction. But anyway, today is Baptism Sunday. In case y'all haven't figured that out, there is real water in this thing here, not just catfish jumping there. But Baptism Sunday, and you know, people ask all the time, like, what does baptism mean? I think that's a big question. Even Christians have sometimes. Like, why, even 2,000 years after Jesus went back to heaven, why do we still get together? Just did it quit? Does it do it sometimes? Somebody talking to me. Here you go. Hey, can y'all hear me again? Yeah. I wonder if I got Sarah's mic, if I start singing, if I sound like Sarah. What y'all think? Did I hit that high note? If I could sing like you, you wouldn't be able to tell me nothing. I'd be the most arrogant person in the world. But anyway, what was I saying? Yes. People ask all the time, why 2,000 years after Jesus went back to heaven, why do we all gather around in a civilized country and still dump people under the water? And really, my simple answer to that is because He told us to. And because there's something about walking the life following Jesus which should be public and which your friends and your family should know. Michelle, where did you go? Michelle, you're
I'm up here.
I'm kind of hoping you were down here, but it's okay. Okay, you're coming up. Oh, you're forgetting the microphone? Oh, come here. I'm going to use you as an example here. I use it every baptism, but it's a perfect illustration. This is Kinley. This is just a friend. This is the church mascot. But this is Michelle, this pretty brown-eyed girl here, and she is my wife. And we started dating in 2012, right? 5 years ago. Yes. You're right. And we dated, and we went on dates for a year and a half before our wedding day. And what we were doing during that time is we were seeing if we were going to be the people who we wanted to spend the rest of our life with. And July 12, 2014, we stood up before our friends and our family, and we proclaimed publicly that we had found the person that we were going to love and chase after for the rest of our lives. And that's what baptism is. For a lot of us, we date Jesus. There's a process of getting to know Him. And for some of us, it happens in an instant. And some of us, it happens over many, many years, and we'll date Jesus. We'll test Him out and try Him. And eventually, just like this with this lady here, you fall in love with Him. And you learn to trust Him. And you decide for yourself, you're like, yeah, I want to chase after Jesus for the rest of my life. And that's what Baptism Day is. It's when you stand before people, your friends and your family, just like on our wedding day, and you proclaim to everyone in your life, I found the one whom my soul loves. For those of y'all getting baptized today is your wedding day. When you stand before everybody and tell them what Jesus did for you. So with that being said, that reminder of what it's all about, the band's going to play one more song. Everybody who's getting baptized, if you have to change clothes, do it now. And me and John will be getting ready. We'll be getting in the pool. And by the time they finish playing this song, hopefully we'll be in here and we'll be ready to get this show on the road. Thank you.
Y'all guys can stand if you want.
is strong in me. My flesh may fail, my God, you never will. I may be weak, but your spirit is strong in me. My flesh may fail, but my God, you never will.
Oh, yes. I think you're going. Oh. All right. So I love baptism. So, oh, I was singing, by the way. Make me nervous. I like charge me, huh? You know, we were making a joke the other day, like, you know, like somebody said, "You must love baptism Sundays because you ain't got to preach." And I said, "No, I don't have to preach, but there's still a story being told." Because each one of these people up here are going to get baptized represents a story and represents a miracle. And for those of y'all that don't think that God is still telling stories, He is still telling stories. There's a story with each person. There's a beautiful thing that He's doing with each person. And let the stories and let the testimony, let each smile preach to you this morning. I promise it will. So, with that being said, first up is the bravest one of them all. Beat him up there to the front, Bryson. Come on, Bryson. Woo! Up your head. There you go, Bryson. I'm going to stay on your tiptoe. There you go. And he's been coming for a while here. His mama said, "I think Bryson wants to get baptized." And so we stood out there on the steps yesterday. Excuse me, not yesterday, but last Sunday. And I always try to talk to kids before we baptize them because we want to make sure that children understand what it means. And I said, "Well, what does it mean?" He said, "It means I love God and that I want to tell everybody about it." And I said, what better simple message is that than when a kid reminds you of how simple it is? And so many times as adults, we try to overcomplicate it and really overthink stuff, you know? Like, we forget that the gospel is so simple. It's just believing God and following. And kids, nothing like a kid can break it down for you. So thank you, Bryson, for reminding me how simple it is. And with no further ado, let's sit you down here, buddy. Bryson, because you have professed that you believe in God and Jesus, we're going to baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All right. Good morning. Next in line, come on, big shot.
Yeah, Hannah. Yeah, Hannah.
Good hand.
Yeah,
Oh, you're all right. Man. By the way, we have a fun time with baptisms here because the Bible says that heaven rejoices when somebody comes to know Jesus. And if heaven's rejoicing right now, you can best bet that New Direction Church is going to be acting up in here, okay? So feel free to smile and joke and laugh, but so Hannah, how long have you been coming, Hannah? 6 months or so? Yeah. And Hannah said that she wanted to speak and tell part of her story this morning. So I'm going to give you the mic and let you. Well,
I've been praying about what I wanted to say for a while, and it never really came clear. But I'm standing in front of you as a person who knows what it feels like to feel unworthy of a lot of things, and especially a love like the love God gives us. And in the past 5-6 months, I've really come to see that we don't do anything to be worthy of what God gives us. It kind of just is what it is. And I struggle with that constantly. And I need to realize, and like part of this is me saying that I have to put myself in place in a way. Like I can't put my opinion of myself above God's opinion of me.
Yeah.
And one verse that really stuck out to me, Mark 2:17. Right, that was right. Jesus tells us that he did not come for the righteous, but the sinners. And I know that I am a sinner, and we all are. And I cling to Him, and this is me feeling that.
Because of your profession of Jesus as Lord and Savior, I'm going to baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I love you because you did an excellent job explaining one of the hardest things to understand as a Christian, which is grace. That you don't earn God's love. And it'll never be about how good we are, but it'll always be about how good He is. Next up, Justin, come on down here. Justin, let's go on. When did James come? Come on. Oh, Justin. I'm glad you took your cowboy with your boots on. This is Justin, and I love Justin because, you know, he got saved not long ago and he got the joy of the Lord. You know, we hear about that in the Bible, and sometimes like when people get saved, they just can't quit smiling. And I think it's kind of the way it should go, you know, because when you got the Lord, you ain't got a reason not to smile. So, you want to say anything?
It's kind of like Matt said, today it's kind of like our wedding day with Jesus, so I like to say my vows to Jesus. Thank you for loving me whenever I couldn't even love myself. Thank you for allowing such an amazing woman to come into my life and love me whenever I couldn't love myself. Thank you for everything that you provided for me and my family and my son. And thank you for being a father to me whenever I didn't have a father.
Listen, man, my allergies act up again. I'll drive all sweaty. Well, let's get that amazing woman that he was talking about. This is his wife. Don't fall, make it look bad now, right? Okay. This is that amazing woman he's talking about here. She is pretty amazing. She's pretty cool, Justin. You did all right. You married up. I'll give you that. But, do you want to say anything?
I think you said enough.
I know you're shyer than Justin is, but to see these two grow, and it's always cool to see how one person comes, but it is so incredible to see when a married couple comes and dedicates their life and their relationship to the Lord. Because it's something that God don't get a lot nowadays. It's rare enough for him to get one person to fully go all in for Jesus. But it's even rarer for when you get a couple, a married couple. I mean, something about two people being tied together, like, it can really move mountains and shake heaven. So, I'm proud of it. It's been just an awesome blessing to grow and watch y'all come. Thank you, Dale.
Call your profession of Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior.
That's your name, Father. Son. Let's get Suzanne in here. Come on. I see you hiding in the corner. Points if you do a cannonball. No. This is Suzanne. This is Dana's cousin. Dana's a very popular person around here. Everybody knows her. You look so much like your sister too, by the way. I know. You probably hate her. But we were talking this morning, and we asked her about why she wants to make this commitment. And she said, there's just a time in your life when you realize that you can't do everything your way, and you realize how powerless you are to shape the ways of your life, and that you have to give your life over to a higher power. And that's what she's standing up here all about for this morning. So it's great to see a 15-year-old kid that's brave enough and honorable enough to do that. So I'm proud of her.
Call of your confession of Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, your commitment in baptizing in the Father, Son.
Dana Barber, come on. We do families at a time. That's how kind of we're brought here, Got more. Michelle put them together. That's probably why. Did you forget to put a screw in?
No.
You only had. I did that screw. You should have screwed. All right, Dana, you were brave enough to say what you want to say to me. So.
Thanks. So, let's see, I was very fortunate. I went to a private Christian school, so I heard about Jesus at a very young age. So, I was saved at the age of 6. Josh Holland, that's how I got there. It was actually your mom. Full circle here. That prayed with me that day. And so, I learned Bible verses and I learned, thanks. I don't want to do that. So I learned, Bible verses and Bible history and all about God at a young age. But I learned about religion. So I learned about a checklist of things that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Sort of that, sorry, I don't want to cry, but it'll happen. Just wait for it, it's going to happen. So about a checklist. So I learned about God as a father, as a disciplinarian, that father figure, just a checklist that sets you up for a life of chasing after perfection that you're never going to be able to attain on your own. So fast forward years and years, I always believed in God. I never strayed from that, but I got very skeptical of religion itself and very skeptical of these rules that nobody could ever live up to. Nobody. And so at 27, I was baptized the first time, so a little bit later in life, but even then that was to complete a checklist. So that was to mark one more check off the list. I'm doing this, we're going to do it. And so fast forward a few more years from that, and I find myself at 29 in situations I never in a million years thought I would be facing at all. So it just was a crazy, crazy couple years there. And I remember waking up one day thinking, there's just got to be more. like there's got to be more to life than this. So I was looking at my girls and I just knew something had to change. So I started praying that day. I remember it was April 1st, 2014. Just started praying, Lord, I don't know where to go from here. I've been doing this on my own for so long. Not really on my own, but without him for sure. And it's not working out real well. So something's got to change. So I started praying, laid it all out there, and literally things started changing. Things started moving. Doors started opening, not through anything I had done on my own. And fast forward a few months, and we moved back. Of course, I can't look over here. This whole section. So a couple of opportunities presented themselves, and we were able to move here. I was at rock bottom. I knew that if things continued how they were going, there was a very real possibility I was going to die. It wasn't a good place. And so I got here, I got my girls to a place where they would be loved and protected. And I got myself to a place where people just rallied around me and they loved on me and protected me too. So thank you all for that. So fast forward a few more months from there, and Ashley and Don actually invited me to go to Ignite with them in Greenville. And that's probably the first time where I really started to hear about God as a daddy God, His true, just love. He's going to love you through your mess no matter where you are. It's okay. Just come. That's all He wants you to do is just come and follow Him. And that's probably the first time I really ever remember hearing it presented that way. And that just started a journey in this walk that was so refreshing and just so new and just gave me hope again for the first time in a very long time. And so then, about a year later, they're like, hey, we're starting this church in Greene County. And I was like, oh, good luck with that. They're like, no, really, I think you'll like it. I think you should come. And I was like, I've never even met this guy. Like, I'm not coming. I'm happy where I am. But they're persistent. And so they kept on. And I said, okay, well, I'll come help for a month. I can give you a month. That's okay. I'll go back. My life is normal, whatever. Oh, God knew better. So after the first Sunday, we were leaving here, and we got in the car, and the girls looked at me, and they're like, Mama, this is where we're supposed to be. And so that just started an even crazier journey. So this past year and a half, you guys have rallied around us. You have wrapped your arms around us, and you've just shown us what it means to love like Jesus. And that is an incredible, incredible experience. So thank you all for that very much. And I've learned so much about love. I've learned so much about life and relationships and people. But most of all, I've learned about it's not about perfection. It's not about doing everything right. It's just about showing up and being present and trying to be better every day. So from this day forward, that is my goal, to just be a little bit better every single day and just try to walk in His grace and stop pushing it away, because I don't think I live up to His standards. He knows we're not going to live up to His standards, but He doesn't care. We just got to show up. So thank you guys.
How is your relationship with God versus your religion with church? We're going to baptize you now, Father, the dead God, Jesus.
Give it to me muted, Michelle. I like that. Don't you have any jokes while we're, Okay. Let's see. Who else do we have over there? I'm trying to think. Were you down to the final three here now? Come on. I bet some of y'all are surprised to see this lady come up here. She told me last week, and it was a good moment. It was a good night. For those of y'all that are new, this is my mama. And, she's been living for the Lord her whole life. And she's had a relationship with him her whole life. But in the last few years, y'all know anything about our family, what we went through, what we've been through together. What we've been through together, when I say together, I mean with the Lord leading it. Man, you missed a miracle. And I asked her, I said, well, why did you get baptized? Like, she got baptized when she was 6 and 12, excuse me. Why did I get 6? It's my story, let me tell her. But she said, like a lot of us, like when we're kids, we understand like as a kid does, but in like life, you just learn so much more. And she's like, this is just something I want to do for me. Just to stand up there and say, like, I have figured out who God is and who I am in relationship to God, especially in these dark years. And to see how she's grown and become the little girl that God wants her to be in the last 3 years. Mom, I'm proud of it. And I'm proud to call you my mama. I don't know if you raised an awesome guy like me, but you're the strongest woman I know. And I've seen you not only live your faith, but I've seen you fight for your faith before. And I've seen where God honors that. And He hears every prayer, and He sees every tear. So, with that being said, before I cry, baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'm a power now. Just say something. I got a lump. Just entertain the crowd.
Side note, we didn't quite put enough water in here. We're having a problem getting people's heads under here today. So we're doing a lot this aggressive. Okay? Jesus loves me just the same. I promise.
Come on, redhead. Yeah, I know it was Sheldon's fault. He told us to take the heaters up. This is Christy. Everybody knows Christy, don't they? How many of y'all love Christy? I mean, you love Christy?
Yes.
Everybody knows her as a crazy DJ spot, but everybody used to know her that way, but like everybody knows her now as Christy. And that's been so beautiful to see how you have like developed your own life and your own faith life. Especially in the last year. Me and Michelle were talking the other night, and Michelle was like, she's like, somebody that has been so awesome to watch grow has been Christy. Just to see how strong you are and how you keep pushing on, and not only how strong you are now personally, but how you're branching out. How you have 16 people, every Tuesday night, every Thursday night now. Recording and
You know the story all about.
I know you want to say something on it. I know. Take it on.
If you would ask me 2 years ago where I would be at in my life right now, well, we back up a little bit, we'll pull a day before. My life has changed so much over the past 7, 8 years. And I never really knew what a relationship was like with God. Don't get me wrong, I believed in him. I knew he was there, but he was just my co-pilot. He was not my pilot. I've been through a whole lot in my life, but I know you gotta go through the valleys of life to get to the mountaintops. And today, I feel like I'm finally reaching my mountaintop. My job, it means a lot to me to have my family here, and especially Jay and Ann. It's been with me through my journey. When I was probably one of the baddest people around. He helped me, him and Ann helped me when Stephen were at our lowest moments and gave us a book. The preacher wrote, introduced us to a book called Five Love Languages when we were at our darkest time. For years and years and years, I prayed for a Christian man. I prayed for a man that loved me like Jesus would love me. Never knowing that that man was standing right in front of me. I have the most awesome husband that has really stood by my side and loved me through some of my darkest parts of life. He has stood by me when others haven't stood by me. And I look around today, and I was kind of like a little kid at Christmas, looking out the window this morning, watching people drive up, looking for my family. And the family that I invited, they'd come. But as I was sitting here watching others get baptized, I see that my true family is here. And I think y'all will let me Matthew. When Matthew first went to church, we started going to the small group. And when it was a small group, it was all good times. And then when Matthew said, hey, we're getting ready to start a church here in Reunion, I really got weirded out. I'm like, this is not me. I told Stephen, I said, we are far, if you knew my testimony, my history. I was not into this starting a small group, small church. But boy, Stephen and I talked about it. He said, you know, I really feel like I should be a part of this. And I said, well, Stephen, I believe in you, whatever you think me to do. So the first Sunday when they opened the doors to the church, I was here. And as Dana said, to learn that it's a relationship with God. You don't have to put on an act. You don't have to put in anything fake. You just come as you are. And that, I want to thank you for.
Well, we love you, don't we? I'm gonna do a special thing with this lady since we're talking about an awesome man. I got done. It's a cool. If there's a reason why John's in here with us, so I won't drop you. Yeah, the water has froze up a little bit since you got here. It's a good point for that. But the neat thing is what, she alluded to, Stephen fell in love with, I would say you fell in love with the Lord before you did him. And Jesus is catching. How many of y'all know that? And like, if you see something, I think the change you saw in him, you said, is what you want. And I tell you, it's something powerful when a man decides to leave his household and leave his household with the Lord. I mean, it's literally but made a difference in his family. And there's something for a relationship with God over religion with God. The last couple of people talked about. So, with that being said, to a hot tub, you I'm a preacher. Listen, so now this is Perry. And I don't know if she looks a little similar, but this is Stephen and Christy's daughter. Here, y'all talk. Stephen, talk.
She's not going to talk, and I'll be brief. I think it, just like Matthew said, maybe I think that phrase popped up when he said that, it's like man up. There's a lot of us men that we need to man up and be that spiritual leader in the family. For a long time, I wasn't that. So that's maybe my challenge to all the men out there. Just man up and be the God, be the man that God wanted you to be to your husband, to your kids.
Wait a minute. I might need to have that sermon next Sunday. But yeah, it's so cool because to see how, you know, Stephen's faith has literally changed his wife's life, and now it's changed his daughter's life. And to see how Perry's different than she was a year ago. And when you get Jesus, you're changed. And that's what the story is all about. That God is still doing miracles. You've seen 10 out here this morning. Like, he's still moving. It might look different than it did 2,000 years ago, but I believe that, I don't just believe it, I know it, that he's still changing people. And he's still writing that story. She hugged me first, David. She hugged me first. I think that's it, right? That's it. We got 2 more? We got 1 more? Come on, baby. Come on. Yes! Come on. Come on. Hey, John, get back in. Tag in. Tag in with this. Be sober, man. Oh, man. Hey. Who want to go first?
We're gonna do it together.
They're going to do it together?
You can do it all in there.
I think we're going to double dip. We'll figure something out. Come on. There. We're totally winging this. Winging it. Come on. That work. Chris will be mad if I drop it. Yeah, we get some britches for you, Steve. Don't act like it's that cold. I've been here for 30 minutes. And God did not build me for cold weather climates. Okay? So, I tell you what, this is really cool, because this is an awesome story, because I'm telling you, I love you guys, man. And I love to see how y'all are different. Not only how y'all are different, how y'all are chasing after the Lord, and also how since you began chasing after the Lord, Psalms 34:18, I think it is, says that delight yourself in the service of the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart. And to see how God's not only working in their souls, but how He's working in their life since they started chasing after Him. Everything they try to do on their own come together. And I love you guys. And John, I know you want to thank you guys.
Give me that mic. Mic check. No, this I knew Crystal, the first time Crystal offended me was when I realized we were in high school together. And I said, you remember me in high school? She said, no. I was like, bro, I thought I was something you remembered, but, so that was the first letdown, but I forgave her pretty quick. They ended up becoming our neighbors, and I don't want to mess this story up, but if I say something wrong, just hit me, okay? But, I might mess this up, Steve. But at the time, if I say this right, Crystal had been maybe let down, disappointed by church people, as you call them, right? And I come out this high-strung Jesus guy, and it's her neighbor. And I'm pretty sure she told me, and she laughed, it's all right, I'm feeling it. I'm pretty sure she told me, I don't really like church people one time. I'm talking about, Jesus, she's like, I don't really like church people. And I see what she was saying. She wasn't saying she don't like God, she was sounding like church people. If you ever met church people, you know, if you don't know a church person like that, it's you. That can be a little too much, or can be so much that they're so full of religion, as some people talk about. They don't have a relationship, they don't have love and compassion. They got a list of rules to tell you what not to do and what to do. They darn sure can tell you fast. So I think Chris has been hurt by that. But anyhow, we just kind of got to know each other. Like nothing spectacular happened. I have made Crystal mad on multiple occasions. Steve, he's a little laid back. I made him mad, I'm sure, but it's a little less, you can't notice it as much. He's chill. Crystal, she'll let you know. And then early on, man, we became friends, right? We were friends, yeah, close. But we like each other, and I didn't know what to do. I tried to get Crystal to go to church. I was going to another good church. I think y'all came once. I think whatever. They didn't really like it. But when New Direction started out, I was like, I promise you something is different. Because if God can use Matthew, I'll tell you, he's about to do something, Matthew. I'm just kidding. I'm just mad. Hey, don't be hanging, man. But I don't want to tell her story. I wish she would say something. Like, long story short, God let him be our neighbor so as a family we could almost annoy him to the point where I realize like we're messed up people, but we love God, and like Crystal loved God, but she had to kind of get over and realize that you could be a Christian and still mess up and still be annoying like I've been at times. There's a difference between relationship and there's a difference between that religion. This rule set that a lot of church people like say, don't do this, you're doing this, instead of just showing them who Jesus is and then letting him be the one who changes them. Anyhow, they're here, they're loving God. Crazy things have happened for it and still happening, like God has given them mad favor. And I'm so thankful I got through the neighborhood, so thankful I got to come here. I'm thankful for New Direction. I'm thankful for God having the vision for this church, for this town, for this county. So, no further ado, Chris.
I just want to say we probably wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't John. So he did work on us a lot. Never give up on us. So if we're working on somebody, trying to get them here, don't give up. Just keep on staying on. Amen.
It's easy to say something in front of 200 people. That's a miracle itself. Lord, but yeah, Michelle's gonna say one thing. I think she's dying to when she saw Chris get up. But there's one thing in all this, like religion is a lame hobby, and like nobody's up here because they fell in love with New Direction Church or fell in love with the people in New Direction Church. They're up here because a relationship with something bigger than they are changed their life. So if that's you, get relationships, not religion. Okay.
I just wanted to say that, we all have those people that we meet and we just automatically just admire them. You might look at Crystal and myself and say, wow, they're so different and things like that. Or, she's taught me to be honest and things. And I was honest before, but I'm saying if you looked at us, what I'm saying is like, if she asked you, hey, do you like this shirt? And I just didn't want to hurt somebody's feelings, or I was a super people pleaser, you would say, well, Crystal was opposite, because she would tell you what she thinks and things like that. And when I first met her, I was immediately drawn to you. You just don't know. People could look at me and say, oh, Michelle, it's easy for you to love God because your life has been like this or like this, and you've done all these things and you've done it all right. But people pleasing was my thing. That was my thing. I lived to make everybody happy, and no matter, I couldn't do it. And so when you look at the two of us, you could never say that I had this great life and it was easy. You could say that. But like when I look at you, I see someone who has lived life like the toughest of life. And you still like come to know the Lord, and your thirst for Him and your drive for Him, the two of y'all together, that's the story. And if you have somebody that you know today that God has put on your heart to love, and I have prayed for y'all so much. I prayed for things in your life, and I wrestle with God over y'all and over things in your life because I want the best for y'all. And this is the story. Like when I stand up, it makes me happier than being at like a football game or something. We should be happier than someone winning or ECU winning when we see people like this be brave enough to stand up and do this in front of everybody. So I just wanted to say, like, this is the story. This is the story that He wants to tell in your life too.
I don't think you said that.
And we love y'all.
Probably could change, but figured out that you made it go.
She got me eating green bean casserole too. You won't.
Never seen you play ball together. I don't know where I've been baptized these days. That's a story. Anyway, Steve, because of the change, man, I see which makes you strive for the Lord. I baptized you in the name of the Father, the Son. For the Sunday right there. Anybody else? I would say it's here until 3 o'clock. Routes don't close until 7. The worship band is going to close us with a song, and they're going to pray us out too, because I'm going to be changing the drive up. They're in cold water long enough, I'm going to say something stupid.
All right.
Y'all worship out, praise the Lord for what happened here this morning, and come back and see us sometime.
Maybe you spoke to their hearts this morning. Lord God, continue your work. If they don't know you as their Lord and Savior, Father, I pray that you just keep calling. Just keep calling. God, we just thank you for so much. For the celebration this morning that's going on, not only in this church, but in heaven. We praise your holy name, Lord God, and we thank you. Amen. And as Matthew would say, remember, God loves you.